what I want to do is today I want to lift the veil on why certain individuals earn certain amounts of money. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how you really can create money out of thin air just by knowing a few simple strategies. And I'm going to actually share a case study with you today on how you really can start to make extraordinary money by learning one very simple skill. So that's one of the key takeaways that I'm going to cover off on today, because what I want to do is lift the veil and help you all understand that there's no great mystery to making money. You just need to be taught the principles around how to generate an income for yourself by utilizing your own nous, okay? Because chances are a lot of people have never taught you this as you were growing up. So here's my chance to share some insights with you that when I understood it, really opened up a world of opportunities for me. So again, today, the real big takeaway that I want for all of you is really to understand that you got the ability to determine what income levels you want. And really the key is for you to discover the right vehicle that you want to use to create that income. Now, again, it'd be great if you can give me a heads up in the chat and just let me know that I'm coming through loud and clear. But with that being said, it is 6:32, so I'm going to start sharing these insights with you. So let me bring this screen up. Abracadabra. And again, guys, let me know if you can see it, if it's coming through clear, put it into the chat. And we're going to rock and roll, guys. So you should be seeing my incredibly handsome screen here right now. And on that screen, you got this magician saying how to make money out of thin air. Thank you for letting me know that I'm coming through loud and clear too, by the way. So here's what I want to do is I want to just take you through some real life case studies right now of how people have created money out of thin air. But before I can show you that, I'll need to share with you the principle or the foundation of how anyone makes money. Okay, so here's the thing. How is money made? Well, it's really made by people working out how to solve a problem at a profit. Here's a few examples of that. So imagine that you're sick. What do you do when you're sick? Well, you go to the quack and you say, please fix me up. Now, I don't know how many people do manage to fix you up. I think a lot of it is up here when you go to the doctor. You might get cured in 7 days. And if you don't go to the doctor, you might get cured in a week. I don't know. But bottom line is you go and see someone to solve a problem. Now, here's another problem. Okay, when imagine you're out there and you're in the desert and you're dying of thirst, and somebody says, dude, I got a bottle of water for you. How much do you think that bottle of water is worth? You are solving a problem at a profit. I don't know about you, but I'd be happy to pay $1,000 for that bottle of water if I was in that situation. So again, this is how money is made, is you look for a problem in the marketplace and then you find a solution to it. So I'm going to share with you, I won't give you his name and I won't show you his picture, but a number of years ago, a client sought my help, and it was because he was coming out of a pretty difficult time. He'd lost everything. And in a second, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that he lost. But he did lose all his financial wealth. He'd gone through a divorce. And as part of that, he was left with literally nothing. So that really hit him pretty badly. And he said, man, I haven't got anything. And I said, well, that's not true. I said, what skills do you have? And we'll call him Mr. X. Okay, so I said, what skills have you got? I mean, you're nearly 40. You must have developed some skills. And he says, well, I've sold insurance and I was okay at that. So he developed sales skills. And again, sales skills are one of the highest paying skills on the planet, if any of you haven't seen one of my earlier trainings. So I knew that he had that. So he didn't have nothing. He had sales skills. And I said, well, what else? Tell me, what assets have you got left? He says, well, I can't really pay my rent. I said, stop telling me what you don't have and what you can't do and start telling me what you do have. He says, all right, well, I've got $1,000 in the bank and I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent next week. I said, stop thinking about what you don't want. Just tell me what you do want. And he said, and I've also got a station wagon. I said, well, that's good. So see, you know how to sell. You got 1,000 in the bank. You got a station wagon. What else have you got? Says, well, I've got a lawnmower. Okay, so he had a lawnmower in the shed. So using the principle that I shared earlier, which was find a problem in the market and then solve it, we had to help him start to reboot again. So the problem in the market that we came up with to help him reestablish himself was lawn mowing and garden maintenance. Why? Well, because he didn't have a lot of resources to start really big, but what he did have was a lot of energy. And so I said, dude, get out there. I helped him put a little bit of a flyer together. I said, you get out there, you mow a person's lawn for free. You say, listen, if I do it for free, can you let me come back if I do a great job? I got him to put flyers in. I got him to knock on doors, etc., etc. And you know what? Within the first week, he'd made $1,000. Now, I know that may not set the world on fire, but who here, and again, please let me know, share it in the chat, but who here understands where I'm coming from, where, for number one, we live in Australia, so we never really have nothing. It doesn't matter how dim it gets, okay? So we got him to get his motivation back up and to realize that he could actually take action and do something, okay? So he made $1,000 in the first week. And here's the really cool thing is 4 months later, he sold his mowing run for $10,000. Now, how did he do that? Well, here's the real story. He practically didn't sleep. He worked 7 days a week. He didn't stop. He worked till 6 at night when the council told him he couldn't mow anymore. And he started to make up for lost time because he had a real motivation to get his act together again. Okay. So with that in mind, he sold his business, he got money together, and he bought a mortgage broker business, okay? And now I haven't talked to him for a number of years, but he's making over 6 figures the last time I talked to him. And all of that came from him not thinking about what he didn't have, but starting to think about what he did have. So thinking about that, realize what I really helped him with. I helped him with a simple strategy, but more importantly, before I could do anything else, I had to help reinstate his self-belief. So once I did that, we kicked this into action. Now, some of you may have seen this. The first time I saw it was with Tony Robbins, and I don't know if he invented it, but we call it the cycle of success. And that is, well, if you've got great belief in what you're doing, okay, that unleashes the potential of what you can take action on. And then when you realize that there's a lot of potential and you take huge amounts of action, you get a result. And then when you get a result, you get more belief in you taking action. And bit by bit, you just start to build that self-belief back up again. And that's exactly what happened with Mr. X. So now that I've shared with you what I believe is the most important thing, that you got to have this right before anything else will go right, what we want to do is we want to think about what opportunities are out there in the market. I'm about to show you one right now, but what opportunities or gaps are in the market that you could find a solution to, okay? So before I do that, I just want to share a principle with you, which is a right me, by the way, and that is the easiest thing to sell on the planet is the opportunity to make money, okay? So again, That's why business consultants do very well, or many of them do, because they're really selling the opportunity to make money, or the opportunity to make profits, or the opportunity to have a business run more effectively. So bearing that in mind, here's another example. I don't know if you've ever seen these examples or ads of people saying, I'll get you on page one of Google, I'll get you on page one of Google. What if I was to tell you that with a little bit of training, you could create that magic as well? Do you reckon if you're on the page one of Google for whatever niche you're in, that's going to have a pretty big impact on the results you get for your business? Who thinks maybe yes? Again, I want your feedback, guys, on this. But it really is a lot better to be on page one of Google than on page two of Google. Okay, so what you're looking at here, understand only 2.5% of people go to the second page of Google. Okay, so you've got to be on the front page. And what you're seeing right here, that's me, Street Smart Business Consultants. And this is page one of Google. But the reason why I am there is because of a simple strategy that just about anyone could learn very, very quickly. Okay. Now, why am I talking to you about being on the page one of Google? Okay. This is not about SEO. This is not about being the best digital marketer. This is about you being able to generate income with a little bit of skill and a lot of effort. Okay. To implement that skill. So that ability for you to get onto page one of Google. In fact, I might actually show you I might go live in a second with the website. We'll test it and see if it works well. But you getting onto the page one of Google, that actually will take you about 2 to 3 hours to learn how to get where I was. It's one of the first things I teach my consultants. In fact, what I will try here, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to show you it live and you can see the results for yourself. So you find a business that wants to be on page one, okay? And that's just about every business on the planet. And drum roll here, I'm going to go risky and I'm going to see if I can let us go live. Okay, so in here, if you searched for a business, okay, say you're a dentist and you want to do well, and let's just say you live in, say, Helensvale. So if I type in dentist, Helensvale, that's a pretty typical search term. What we're looking at here are the people that you would probably call when you search for a dentist in Helensvale. Is everybody with me there? I hope so. And so very high probability, this is what we call the 3-pack, ladies and gentlemen, this top area. Okay. Now, what you're looking for, you don't want the people that are already on page one of Google. Okay. What I'm showing you is a way to a business system, one of the first systems that I showed my students. Okay. So what you're looking for here is a business that would like to be on one, but isn't. Okay. So let's just say this one, Home World Family Dental. So I'll click on this one here. And this is the business I'm with. So they're in Helensvale. They're not on page one. If someone typed that term in, they would not be found. Again, another search term that you might do is maybe dentist, dentist near me. And now I live fairly close to Helensvale, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you would not find them. That was Homeworld, that business, okay? And again, you very well, you wouldn't go this deep down to find someone. You got a pain in your tooth, you want to ring someone, okay? So they are 2 search terms that I just shared with you. With that in mind, so we found this business. They want to be on page one. Logic says that they'd much rather be on page one than page two. And if you have a look here, you'll see this search term, dentist, Gold Coast, there's 880 search terms, okay, for that one there every month. Dentist near me, well, that's generic throughout the whole of Australia, but 1.5 million people do that each month. That's a lot of people with toothaches. Emergency dentist near me, 110,000. So if you were on page one for those, do you think there's a good chance someone would ring you? Well, of course there is. So if you said to someone, look, I'm going to get you onto page one of Google, but don't pay me until I get you there, who might say, yes, please, I'll take that offer? Well, an awful lot of business owners would. Because why? There's no risk involved. You said, look, I don't want you to pay me until I get you into that spot. So you found a business, they're on page two, they'd like to be on page one, and you've now, because you put in a bit of effort and a bit of study, you now have the ability to help get them onto the page one. But there's no risk involved because you're not even going to ask to get paid until you actually achieve that goal. So this is what you call a no-brainer compelling offer to someone else. And you're saying, yes, please. Yeah, true. So thank you for the feedback, guys. So how many of you would like to have that skill? Okay, it isn't that hard. Again, it's one of the first things I teach my advisors. So here's another question for you. Let's just say that you learned how to do that and you found that business, you put the offer to them, said, look, let me get you on page one. They'll probably say yes, okay? So you've now got a client. Now let me ask you, how many of you feel that if you went to someone and asked them if they'd pay you $230 an hour, how many of you feel that someone would be willing to pay that sort of money? Well, I don't know. But let me just do some simple maths with you. Let's just say you found 10 clients using this same strategy, same very, very, very simple strategy, okay? And let's just say, I'll do some maths on this. Oh, what's going on here? My computer is frozen. Okay, let's just say you charge them $1,200 a month, okay, for this wonderful service. And that means that if you had 10 clients, that's $12,000 a month that you're making. Okay, well, fair enough. That's $144,000 a year. Now, it'll take about 12 hours work a week for you to be able to achieve that goal and maintain that result for those 10 clients. Okay, so a bit over an hour a week, say, for each one. So if we break it down, that works out $12,000 a month, $144,000 a year. 12 hours a week times 52 weeks is 624 hours a year of work. If you divide 624 hours into 144,000, that works out to $230.76. So now, do you understand how it is possible to make quite a nice return on your time by learning one simple skill? Well, again, my point here is, let me look you in the eye when I say this. My point here, ladies and gentlemen, is that with a little bit of right knowledge to the right person that gets it at the right time, they can take just this one strategy, not 10 strategies, not 30 strategies to make a lot of money, just this one simple strategy. And they have the opportunity to make mid-six figure, or $140,000, $150,000 a year, working way less than they've ever had to work before. Now, I'm not saying you can do it because that'd be very unwise for me and Facebook would not like me doing that. But I can tell you that this one strategy is extremely effective and it's worked for many, many people in the past. And the big takeaway, I guess, if I'm recapping here, is you're looking for, what have we done? We've looked for a problem in the market. Business owners, they're not on page one. They want to be on page one. You come up with a solution. So with a little bit of training, you can learn how to get somebody into that position. For most industries, you can't do it for each and every person. So again, cautionary note. But again, if you made that offer to maybe 10 businesses, you'll probably get at least 5 or 6 of them say, hell yeah, what have I got to lose? And then if you put the effort in a very short period of time, number one, you got no pressure, because if you don't get the result, then no one pays you. What have you got to lose? You're not going to break anyone's heart or have anyone be angry with you. But on the other side, there's an extremely high likelihood that with the right guidance, you'll be able to get somebody there. So that's a simple example of finding a problem, providing a solution, and getting rewarded very, very well for it. And more or less, that's what business consultants do. So my certified Street Smart business consultants know how to do this. And again, by applying that with focused effort, just that one strategy, look at the results that are possible. So imagine what else you could do. Okay, imagine with other skills that you learn. I want you to think about this. This is the big takeaway for today. Whether you want to be a business consultant, whether you don't want to be a business consultant, I hope I've opened your eyes that there are opportunities there and that you can generate income, largely whatever situation you're in, and you can make money out of thin air. Now, for any of you that would like to learn more about becoming a business consultant, I'm going to put a URL in here. Learn how to be a certified Street Smart business consultant. I'm going to put a link in here in the chat, and you can check it out for yourself. But the bottom line is you have the ability to really do whatever you want to do and earn whatever you want to earn. You just need to have the right knowledge, a proven system, and really have the right self-belief inside. Because again, just like that person that I helped rebuild his financial life after he lost everything, before I could do anything else, I had to help him realize that he still had abilities and that he could still do something. Might not be his ego, but he managed to rebuild his life fairly quickly, 12 months, and get his self-belief rebuilt inside himself again. So again, let me know what your takeaways were on that. I hope it is that, number one, you have the ability to generate income when you want to. Number two, you just got to put focused effort into it. And number three, I'll say it again, I believe that business consulting is one of the simplest, most lucrative and personally rewarding careers on the planet. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I will get back to you and respond to them. But I do hope you learned something today. Please pop it in there and tell me. Thank you, Facebook user that's anonymous. And again, guys, if you want to know more, join our private Facebook group. So have a look on my main business page and join our group, and feel free to ask any questions you want, and I'm here to help in any way I can. Again, thanks again, and I will catch you next time.